Hello, this is me, Janki Nair, and in this video, we are going to discuss about our biodiversity killers, the inevitable alien plants. Throughout this video, we'll come across many topics like biodiversity loss, how the alien plants invade an area, and how they impact the growth of our native plants. So let us begin. India is an important center of agri-biodiversity. This is due to the immense variety of the climatic and altitudinal variations, along with varied ecological habitats. The altitude varies from the sea level to the highest mountain ranges of the world. The extreme diversity of the habitats has resulted in the existence of the large variety of flora and fauna in almost all types of forest, ranging from scrub forest to tropical evergreen rainforest, coastal mangrove to the temperate forest. Now we are going to discuss about the alien plants in Kerala, how to recognize them, how they endanger our biodiversity, and how to control them. Trade and colonialism have helped in the development of alien floras in tropical Asia. Herbaceous and woody plants have been introduced to many countries across the globe for economic, aesthetic, and other purposes. But the movement of alien species for agricultural and ornamental purposes began 1700s onwards. Alien plants first get naturalized and then invade other plants and displace them. Common pathways of accidental introduction of alien plants include imports of agricultural products such as crop grains. It is estimated that 44% of the significant weeds in Southeast Asia are non-indigenous. Once the alien plants get established in a regional flora, they have the ability to displace the native biota, disrupt the nutrient and fire cycles, and cause changes in the pattern of plant succession. All alien plants are not equally big destroyers. Some may colonize a small area of land, whereas others may dominate a large area of land in just a few years. They can spread rapidly from one region to other through a mobile society and the international transportation of ornamental and forage plants. 38 alien invasive species are found to be in Kerala, of which 10 are highly risky, 12 pose medium risk, 10 pose low risk, and 6 are insignificant as per the risk assessment done. This is one of the typical sacred grove which is being destroyed by the alien plant Micania micrantha. Still, no one in this area has understood the fact that they are alien plants. Majority of the Keralites have a misbelief that all the green plants are good for the nature and for them. Inside these groves, there were many trees including pine, jackfruit, etc. But after the huge development of the alien plant, the trees had dried up due to the insufficient sunlight received. Even the people had not realized that this plant, Mimosa diplotricha or Anathuttavadi, that grows by the roadside is an alien plant. The spread of these alien plants is due to the weak nature of the native predators. These alien plants possess several other characteristics like tolerance of a wide range of soil and weather conditions, production of copious amounts of seeds that disperse easily, growth of aggressive root systems, short generation time, and long flowering and fruiting periods. Now we are going to discuss about some important alien plants found in Kerala. Micania micrantha is a vigorously growing perennial creeper that grows best in areas of high humidity, light, and soil fertility. This plant has ribbed stems that grows up to 6 meters of length. Leaves have heart-shaped bases and pointed apex. It grows very quickly, as fast as 80 to 90 millimeters in 24 hours. It is known to cause hepatotoxicity and liver damage in dairy cattle. Lantana camara is undoubtedly one among the world's 100 worst invaders, which poses threat to several endangered plants, animals, and ecological communities. Lantana is a low, erect, and vigorous shrub. It has around 650 wild, cultivated, and hybrid varieties, which occur in over 60 countries around the globe. It cannot invade intact rainforests due to the dense and thick canopy, but where natural forests are disturbed through logging or other disturbances creating gaps, the plant encroaches into the gaps. Antigonum leptopus is a robust, evergreen, perennial vine widespread in the tropics. The rapid growth rate and thick, luxuriant foliage makes the plant a good candidate for screening cutting faces, walls, and similar structures. The plant produces huge quantities of seeds which are viable for several years. Seeds float on water, which helps transportation to new locations. This beautiful flowering plant is Sphagneticola trilobata, or also known as Singapore daisy. It is a creeping, malforming perennial herb native to the tropics of Central America. It is a widely planted ornamental species which often escapes from gardens to form a dense ground cover that crowds out or prevents regeneration of other species, including natives. This plantation tree is Acacia melanoxylon, or the Australian blackwood, native to the southeastern part of Australia. It has been introduced to many countries for forestry plantings. It is a declared noxious weed species in South Africa and is a pest in Portugal's Azores Islands. This herb is Ageratum cornicoides, or also known as godweed. It is an annual herb and is commonly seen in agricultural areas, pastures, plantations, orchards, and along roadsides. The plant is unpalatable to livestock. Pueraria fascioloides, or tropical kudzu, is indigenous in East or in Southeast Asia. It is grown as a cover crop in oil palm, rubber, and coconut. If this plant's growth is not limited within the plantation areas, it can spread out to the forest and destroy the natural habitat over there. Arundodonax, or giant reed, is a tall, herbaceous grass native to tropical Asia and the Mediterranean region, but now widespread and naturalized in about 23 countries across the globe. It is one of the fastest growing terrestrial plants in the world. The grass easily invades riparian zones and wetlands, displacing native riparian vegetation. Chromalina odorata is a tropical and subtropical species native to America. In the 19th century, it escaped from the botanical gardens at Dhaka, India. It is locally called Communis pacha in the South Indian state, Kerala. It is toxic to cattle and causes allergic reactions. Seed production is about 80,000 to 90,000 per plant. In favorable conditions, the plant can grow more than 3 centimeters per day. Parthenium hysterophorus, or Congress grass, is an annual herb which was accidentally introduced into India through contaminated cereal grain before 1910. Parthenium colonizes disturbed sites very aggressively, impacting pastures and croplands and outcompeting native species. Its pollen is known to inhibit fruit set in many crops. Pollen grains, airborne pieces of dried plant material, and roots of Parthenium can cause allergy-type response like hay fever, asthma, skin rashes, peeling skin, puffy eyes, excessive water loss, swelling and itching of mouth and nose, constant cough, running nose, and eczema in human beings. Pteridium aquilinum, or eagle fern, grows in pastures, deciduous and coniferous woodlands, and hillsides. It can be aggressive in countries where it is native, such as England. The large, roughly triangular fronds are produced singly, arising upwards from an underground rhizome. Sporangia, through which the plant reproduces, are formed in zori on the underside of the frond. The ingredients for Ayurvedic medicines are collected from the medicinal herbs that are grown by the roadsides, forests, and wastelands by the people. But now they are finding difficulty in collecting these herbs as there are the invasive alien plants encroaching into the area instead of the native herbs. Thus, the availability for the Ayurvedic ingredients reduces. The present control methods for invasive aliens are costly, time-long, and risky because total eradication is required for re-establishment. Effective site eradication procedures require multi-year treatments, continued supervision, and the following treatments. Mechanical control involves ploughing and physical lifting from the soil. Chemical control has proved costly and partial success in many cases. These control projects offer a logical, long-term solution, but nothing has been carefully attempted in India. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Have a good day.